Hey, I'm glad to see you. It's Mickey Mikeworth and your favorite business consultant. Remember, I'm a financial strategist. I'm also a two-time winner of the Top Woman in Finance and also voted by the Women's Press as a lot of things. So that some of the things that I've done are the best place to start a small business in Minnesota. And um, and mentoring, I think, is the other one that's big there. So anyway, but today I want to talk about your business and what you're doing. And that's really today I'm going to focus on the two types of admins that are, especially in your first hire, understanding what an admin does, understanding why it's helpful to you. And I have this very little hen scratched note that I gave myself because it's what I would have written down for you if we were in class together or if you were in my office. So the first step for everyone in hiring their first person is always an admin. That is how we start to magnify you and the products that you serve, whether or not that administrative piece is working your back office, whether it's doing accounting, whether it's doing booking appointments, whatever. Admin is the first order of how to bring in change, how to bring in magnification, and how to stop being at the mercy of disorder. So there are two types. One, I call it clear cutting. That's the person that's going to work in front of you. The second type that you would hire is the person who's going to work behind you, that's on the cleanup crew. Now you're going to have to decide, one, what's the skill level? These are two different people. They have two different mindsets. They do it differently. Sometimes I've seen people that can do front and back, but that isn't someone's natural place. Either someone is going to be working out in front of you all of the time, or someone's going to be behind you. So you have to first decide which part of the tangles that you want. When I come into a business, a lot of times I lovingly refer to it. I grew up on a farm, so we call it pig's breakfast, right? It's just a mess. It's just disorder. So there's a pig's breakfast of choices. So you get to decide where you need help. I personally am always needing to keep moving forward. So that was the first thing I needed, was someone to work out ahead of me so I could continue to move forward. So someone who's working out ahead of me is making sure that we have appointments on the books, that we have what we need ready to go for an appointment, for a meeting, for speaking. That somebody who is making sure that the room is booked, that all of the things that I need in front of me can be done. The person who's working behind me is someone who is kind of cleaning up the details. So can you make sure to send a thank you note? Here's all the things that I need. These are the people I met. Here's the business cards. Put them into our database. Here's 10 people that need to meet me. Can you make sure that they have an appointment? Follow up with this fact. Here's this people I met at this thing. Can you send them a LinkedIn invite? So that person is working to manage everything that would remain unconnected. So, and that's a key little point for any of you who are doing a lot of consulting or working with a lot of businesses, or um, there's follow up that needs to be done. And what I also like about follow up is it's also when I need somebody to finish my file. So I need you to put this into someone's file. I need this in a file. I need this transcribed. I need something that's there. So everything that's behind me. So that would also be everything on my social media. That would be right. Those are the things that are behind me, not necessarily the person who's building the invitation list for my next class. This is the person who's sending it. So somebody who's looking at cleanup, they're working on all the details behind me so that everything behind me is cleaned up and tidied up. So I'm not dragging that stuff, or that it's not just sitting back there fermenting into something that becomes just this hullabaloo of stuff. A lot of times, especially when I go into an office, um, that I really look at the office. And if you have stacks of paper, even though they're organized, it is distracting. So like, is it there? Sometimes, especially if someone is a visual learner, they leave things out visually so they remember to do them. Whereas somebody who's on the cleanup end, they will also make sure that I have lists that say, this is what we did, this is where it's at, right? Because if you're a visual learner, I'm a visual learner, I leave things out to remind myself to do something later. I am a dyslexic, so any of you who may be neurodivergent and fabulous, but you need help with order, that's like 25% of the world at least. But I need reassurances that those tasks are being done, and then I can kind of calm down and be in my zone. And my zone is to be in the middle of everything, right? To be in what I'm doing so that I can do that. I need somebody in front of me to lead, to clear cut, to get that path through, to make sure that the collateral is ready, to make sure that there's flow there, that I can stay connected to the larger goals. That's really the point of an admin in front of you, is that they're going to make sure that all the tasks that you need to have done on your strategy, they're going to make sure that they attend to that, so you keep moving forward. The person who's behind you, they keep all that garbage from fermenting. They keep it all from being disconnected and unconnected. A lot of times I will write a set of notes, but maybe I forgot to write what they are notes on. And I can remember that if you ask it to me on Tuesday, because I just did it on Monday. But if you ask me on Tuesday and it was 10 Mondays ago, I have no idea what that piece of paper is. And sometimes I forget, right? So having an admin for me, it's a 400% increase for me to be able to have help. For most people, you're going to decide where you are able to build that collateral. So it's so personal. Your admin is so personal, and you'll have to figure out what you need them to do. If you have them clear cutting on the front end of you, that will create more income, but it will bring more dissatisfaction of strategy behind you. So this is a delicate balance. So the point of that is that I remind people that sometimes you're actually looking for two people. The first person is that you're going to hire is the person who's out there clear cutting, and then you can get that rhythm of financial flow in. And as you've got them trained in, then you prepare for the one on the back end that can clean up all of the details. And then eventually those two will meet with you in the middle, and all three of you will be clear cutting and putting through the connection to larger goals together. But that's really where you are. So my friend gave me this. This is actually Brian who gave me this. He got it from somebody else, but it was really great, which is, right, and so the money, what I want you to think about is the 10 times 10, tenfold piece of it, right? $10, $100, $1,000. So the idea is give away all of the low cost tasks. So I would have just said any $10 task, give it away. Give it away as many times as you can so that you can focus on the $100 task. And if you can focus on that $100 task, then you will be able to have enough cash flow to give away more things to the $10 so that you can focus on moving out of $100 items and getting to $1,000 items. And that right there is very true. The minute I stopped focusing on the small things and focused on the things that were worth a lot more to me, it worked a lot better. But I had to be in that middle place first, right? I had to consistently figure out the $100 item. And for you, $100 item might be $1,000 item. But whatever that is, it is the times, right? Times 10. Give away the one item so that you can earn 10 times that, and get very good at that thing that you can make at that 10 times, right? give away as many as you can so that you can focus right here. Because the minute you can focus on the middle, you can start leaning towards the bigger. And that is very true. So today, that's what I'm hoping you'll take away: two types of admins, and then really follow that process. You're either wanting somebody to be clear cutting in front of you, or you want them working on the cleanup behind. And then you can stop being at the mercy of disorder. So some of those for you might be online, some of them might be real. I personally need a person that I can see and talk to. And I have an office, so that's easy for me. I can just hand it over to somebody at my office. Decide your work style. Learn you. Learn you. Having any type of help requires work. And that work you have to still facilitate. So thank you so much for spending time with me. Thank you for being part of Mikeworth Consulting. I always like knowing you, seeing you, watching you grow. And, it's good around here. It's good around here, and it's good with you around it. So thank you so much for hanging out. And I'll see you next time. All right. Bye.